welcome back to my channel. I'm gonna try to make this quick because I don't think I'm supposed to be on this bridge here, but I couldn't help but shoot a video that's on a vintage bridge about vintage lenses. Because recently I just bought this little thing. This is an adapter for Sony E mount to Nikon AF, I think, or F mount. This is made by Photodiox, 20 bucks, and basically unlocked the ability to use all of my grandpa's old vintage Nikon lenses. So this video is just basically an experiment because I just want to see what I can do with these lenses. I've never shot through them, so this is going to be the first time, and I'm just going to shoot this bridge because it's great subject matter, and then we're going to take these back in the edit and see if there's a difference between the photos I took on my nice Sony G Master one versus these photos taken on, yeah, I think it's just Nikon, yeah, Nikon AF Nikkor lenses from like the 60s. So we'll see. Alright, so just finished up shooting a bunch of photos of this badass bridge on the 50 and the 28. That was pretty cool. I love how small and light they are. This Sony G Master lens is huge and bulky and big, and it's only a 35 millimeter. But I need it for shooting videos because autofocus. But that was fun shooting on lenses that don't have autofocus and have the aperture in the lens. But I'm going to take them back and edit them, so take it away, future me. All right, we're back in the office. It's actually a few months later. I actually completely forgot that I had this video, started the editing, and then forgot about it. I've been working on a short film, color grading it, and just kind of completely forgot about this video. But we're back, and I got a couple of photos from that day that I remember really liking. I'm only going to edit a couple of these just to kind of show you what the vintage glass can do. And for the most part, it looks pretty close to my actual like nice lens. It's just some things like in the this shot, especially the bokeh is so creamy and so like soft. I really like it. So we're going to take a couple of these. I'm actually going to start with this one because I think this is my favorite shot from the day. I'm going to bump the warmth up just a little bit so we get a little more of the warmth in all the lichen. So if you saw the shots from the B-roll clip, there's all this like really nice, beautiful lichen on here. And I really like the red tones in the rusty thing here. I'm going to try to pop it up just a little bit. Get some more of that detail. Not too much though. I like keeping it moody. Highlights, we can go down quite a bit. I'm actually just going to get rid of all of them. Push some contrast into it, just so it looks a little sexy. Drop the shadows a bit. We don't want to go too far because we don't want to clip any information out of the image. So just get it so we get some nice, deep, rich shadows. Pull up that cement in the back a little bit more. Ooh, yeah, that texture is kind of nice. Just pop that a little bit out. Get a little bit of this like rust coming through a little bit more. Yeah, I don't know if I like more clarity or less clarity. I think I'm gonna go with it just a slight bit more. Since the main focus of this whole photo is that little strip that's in focus, this little tiny bit, I want to focus on that because that's where your eye is automatically drawn to. So I want that to be the main focus. And actually, speaking of which, I'm going to take this and do like a 5x7 cut on it and just really make that the main photo. Yeah, I think I like that a lot, actually. I actually think I need to slightly correct that as well. Yeah, it looks a little better. This was kind of curved in, so it's not perfectly straight. Pop that vibrance up. That way when we pull some color down lower, there's a little more information to pull from. And we're going to try to make that like faded film look. So pulling up, lifting the shadows a bit, we'll do that. And then instantly kind of crushing them. Kind of adds that like faded, blown out shadows kind of thing. That's looking pretty nice. Moving on to HSL. Yeah, don't really want to change that too much. I'm just kind of messing with it, see what looks good. I don't even really know if I want to change any of these, to be honest. I kind of like what it's doing. I am going to pull some of the saturation down, though. I don't want it too warm. And there's really no other colors except for warm colors. So what we're going to have to do is probably throw some cool tones into the highlights and also the shadows to kind of bring the tone down. All right, I'll keep it somewhere around there. I'm going to drop the orange luminance down just so it pops a bit more. I'm just going to bring some of that back too, just because it's a little too desaturated now. All right, I'm actually going to bump up the saturation a bit more and then pull those orange back down. A lot of the way I edit is just kind of going back and forth until I find something I like. So I feel like that's kind of how everybody edits photos. It's also kind of hard to edit with bright lights all in your eyes too, so I'm having a bit of a hard time color grading this properly. So I'm actually really impressed with how these old lenses hold up. I really like shooting with them, and I really kind of like the style that they have to them. They just have this like unique characteristic to it that these newer lenses that have just such sharpness, you kind of lose a little bit. But it really comes through with this shot, just how the roll off with the focus is, and I mean the sharpness is still really good. It's kind of crazy. All right, let's move on to a second photo. This one was actually inside the basin. So this bridge used to be like a kind of an aqueduct that they would send beets from the factory just down the way on water down to this bridge, and then they would offload from this bridge into a little boat that was over the river, which is kind of cool. Now it's just a cool historical monument. Now this one I kind of want to make real dark and try to pull out some of these like highlights down. So we're going to make it real moody. All right, we'll start with that, see what it looks like. Just a twinge of clarity. Now I don't think I really quite got focused on this one, so you might not be too happy with the final result. Another very like overall warm photo too. We might be able to counteract a little bit of that with the temp control. Yeah, there we go. Pull a little bit of the warmth out. What I'm going to do, I'm going to leave the hue alone, saturation alone. I'm just going to use the luminance and kind of pull down and just like make everything nice and rich. I need to get rid of some of this in the background too. I think I might actually do like a little bit of a swath here in the middle just to bring out the detail in just the ground alone. I think I'm going to bring down the vibrance maybe, and then don't want to drop the highlights too far off because then you start getting like weird gray. Bring the vibrance down a little bit more. It's a little too orange. Something we can do like we did with the other one is add some blue by way of highlights and add maybe some green, make it kind of sickly in the shadows like that. So yeah, definitely brought it down quite a bit. I just like the moodiness of it. I kind of wish there was more like clouds in the sky. I guess we could pull that into Photoshop and add some clouds in it, but that's kind of more than I want to do with this photo because I'm not entirely happy with it. I just wanted to show you guys a few different photos from this lens. But it just has kind of like a different feel to it. Like even without, I put a little too much sharpening on there, but it just has a different look to it. I feel like I should have really taken the same photo with my nice lens and then like the vintage lens, and I don't know why I didn't do that. But yeah, like looking at it and knowing my lenses or my nice lens and like shooting on these old ones, you could really tell the difference. And the cool thing is you can still buy these lenses today. They still make them, the Nikon lenses. And they're still actually quite expensive. I was actually looking through all of my lenses and all my camera gear and pricing it all out and making like a price list so I can see how much equipment I have overall for insurance purposes. And they're actually still like pretty expensive, and made me want to care for them even more than I have been. They've been like decor for like a decade. Anyway, we're going to move on to one last photo. I'm not going to bother with this fourth one. I think you guys kind of understand or can kind of see the look that these lenses create. I think I shot all these on the 50mm and then the 28mm, which this one was the 28mm, to get a little bit of a wider shot. I think this was the 50, which now looking at this, I don't like the purpley magenta. So let's do one more real quick. If you couldn't tell from how I shoot, I really like rust and metal and stuff like decaying, non-organic decay, urban decay. I really like the look, and just like all the textures and colors you get, even just in a piece of metal, is really cool to me. So I tend to shoot a lot of macro stuff just so I can really like show those textures that I love. I'm kind of doing just the same kind of edit to each one, just so you can kind of see roughly how it looks across the board. I'm also going to crop this one because the full frame sensor on the Sony makes it really weird. All right, so there you have it. That one is a pretty simple edit. I didn't do a whole lot with it. Just tried to pull out some of the color in the rust. But yeah, I'm going to put up the final edit of each right now, just so you guys can see all of them in all their glory. So I actually ended up not really liking what I edited in the video, so I actually turned off all my lights and edited these properly. So you're now seeing the final version after some minor re-editing. Yeah, overall, I'm very impressed with these little lenses. I'm probably going to shoot on them a lot more. I can't wait to actually do a video shoot with them. I'm hoping to get a music video probably in the next couple of months. And well, hopefully with COVID, we'll see. Probably not, but we'll start planning it. But I think I'm going to shoot that with these vintage lenses and just get like a cool look out of it. But that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this was kind of interesting. This is mostly just for me to see what these lenses I've had for ages look like. And if you're looking into getting these lenses or just vintage lenses in general, I say do it. Usually you can find them at like thrift stores and pawn shops pretty cheap because people don't really know what they have. And then people selling them just think they're old lenses, and you can just get adapters for pretty much anything these days. Again, the one I got was $20, and now I have like almost $2,000 worth of lenses. So yeah, definitely worth just having in your kit. And they're so small, you can take them anywhere. It's really nice. Rather than this big G Master lens, you can have like 3 or 4 smaller lenses for the same like space that it would take up. But yeah, be sure to like and subscribe and check back later. I'm pretty inconsistent with my videos these days. My schedule's all fucked up, so hopefully I'll be getting more content out. I'm almost done with the Lark short film. I'm really excited to get that out to you guys. And until next time, we'll take some photos together, maybe. I don't know how. Just take photos on your own and show them to me. Tag me. I want to see them. All right, bye.